President Trump is now traveling back to the United States following a 4-day trip to Scotland. During the visit, he met with leaders in the region, securing the framework for a trade deal with the European Union. And before leaving Scotland, Trump cut the ribbon at his new golf course along the country's northern coast. CBS News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi is joining us now from Washington. Olivia, thanks for being here. President Trump just spoke on Air Force One. He said that Russia now has 10 days to make a deal with Ukraine. What more do you know?
Yeah, Joe Ling, this is part of the frustration that this White House has been expressing with Russia over the continued war in Ukraine. The president earlier this week said that he was shortening that 50-day timeline that he had set a couple of weeks ago to 10 to 12 days. He says the reason why he had to do that was because he felt that they would have the same answer at the end of 50 days as they would at the end of 10 to 12 days. So why not just shorten it? So on Air Force One there, the president says it's now a 10-day deadline for Russia to get to the table with Ukraine and make a ceasefire. And if they don't, there's going to be action from the U.S., and that could come in the form of punishing sanctions, punishing secondary sanctions, more tariffs on Russia, anything the president can do to kind of maximize that pressure to get them to the table with Ukraine and try to solve the end to this war. But it seems from what we've seen so far in Ukraine and just the continued barrage of missiles that Moscow is not capitulating to these new demands from the White House.
We also know that President Trump's visit to Scotland is now over. He's heading back to the United States. You know, after these visits, any White House tends to want to summarize and try and spin what happened there. What is the White House saying about what happened in Scotland?
Well, before he went, it was classified as a working visit, but we know just from the images and what he did there, he was golfing. He golfed at Trump Turnberry, and then he went and opened a new golf course in Aberdeen, both in Scotland. But while he was there, he was also able to make a trade deal with the European Union. That's that 15% tariff that will go into effect on goods from the European Union into the United States. They also agreed to pay more in military equipment. They agreed to pay more in energy investments into the U.S. So he went on a working visit trip to Scotland, but came home with some deliverables. And of course, we have that August 1st deadline for tariff trade deals coming down the pike at the end of this week. So a lot to watch out for there. But so far, the White House is saying this was by and large a successful visit.
All right, Olivia Rinaldi, thank you so much.